Hello everyone, my name is Jack Litra. This video is a continuation of automated secrets rotation in Azure Key Vault. This time I cover a special use case for Azure AD App Client Secrets. Since there are non-Azure objects and there are significant differences in managing them in comparison to access keys for Azure services like storage, Redis cache. With client secrets, you will need to use Graph API to manage them. And since you can have many client secrets per app with their own expiration, there is no need to alternate between two, like for access keys. If you need general information on how you can automate rotation of secrets stored in Key Vault with Azure Functions, please watch part 1 of this video, where I explain the entire workflow in detail. Let me step back and give a little background on identities in Azure. Identities can be broken down to user, human identities, and workload identities. Here I will focus on workload identities, which are identities of software workload, such as an application, service, script, or container, to authenticate and access other services and resources. The most secure way to manage workload identities is by using Managed Identity in Azure. It's a credential-free solution. Credentials are invisible and managed for you by Azure Platform. Most Azure services support it today, and there are options with identity federation for non-Azure services like GitHub. When Managed Identity is not supported for the scenario, usually non-Azure third-party products, you need to manage AAD application with service principals and credentials by yourself. In that case, Client Certificate is the most secure option. Managed Identity also uses client certificates as credentials behind the scene. Use Key Vault to store and secure access for those certificates, and use built-in lifecycle management. When in use on the nodes, use local certificate stores to protect them. Unfortunately, certificates are not always an option, and there are still many third-party products that do not support certificates for authentication. The last resort is to use client secrets. You should store client secrets in Key Vault to secure access, but there is no built-in lifecycle management, and you will need to do it on your own. Client secrets continue to be a big problem in Azure. Several hundred client secrets per month were leaked in GitHub in 2022. How to securely store and automate the rotation of client secrets to avoid security incidents isn't an issue. I will focus on this demo. Before I jump into the demo, I would like to reiterate security best practices for credential management. Eliminate use of access keys passwords for service credentials. Use Azure Active Directory, AAD authentication, and use Managed Identity. Store other credentials securely in Azure Key Vault. Never store your credentials configuration files or code, and rotate those credentials frequently. Any credential can be broken, and mishandling of secrets by engineers is very common. Let me show you how we can configure AAD App Client Secret rotation with Azure Functions and Key Vault. In my initial setup, I have a Key Vault and registered app in AAD. So now I can go to my GitHub Solution under Azure, scroll down to instructions, and first step is install function with template for AAD App Client Secret. So go to the templates link, and here is the AAD App Client Secret rotation functions ARM template. So I can click deploy to Azure. Here I select the group same as Key Vault. So I can leave that as default. And now I can type name of the Key Vault, JackDemoKV. I'll leave the function Parameters as the same, consumption plan and default name for the function. And also I will leave the secret name the same. Here we have a deploy secret with client secrets to Key Vault set as true, which will require all information about the secret. First one is AAD App Object ID. So I go to app registration to my app and copy object ID. Second, I will need actual secret information, like secret ID, secret value, and expiration date in Unix time. So now I will go to the app, certificate and secrets, and I will create a new secret. I will call it managed by Key Vault jag demo kv. I will select the 3 months as expiration, as it's recommended for secrets management. And it creates new secret with expiration April 2nd and valid secret ID. So first I will copy secret ID. Now we'll need the value. And third one, I will need expiration date in the Unix time. So I go to the web, which can convert dates to Unix time. So we'll add 3 months, exactly, it's April 2nd. So I copy that value. And I can click Review and Create. And now deployment is complete. I can go to resource group and see all resources created, including Azure function, deployment, and event grid configuration. AAD App Client Secrets are AAD objects with no ARM template support. To configure permission for Azure function to access AAD application, we'll need to use Graph API. So now I go back to the installation instructions. And the second step is add permission using Graph API to Azure function to generate client secrets in AAD app. It is important to know that you will need to be a global administrator in Azure Active Directory to be able to execute the script. I will copy entire script and paste it to my favorite editor. And here I see that I will need directory tenant ID and Azure function object ID. So let me get that. I will go to my app to get tenant ID. And then I will go to my function to get identity object ID. So now I have an entire script, and in the script it's basically connecting to the Azure ID to correct tenant, and then providing the function object ID, Graph ID, which is well-known Microsoft Graph application ID. And the role name we need is a read-write all for the applications. So first we're gonna get the service principal using the Graph ID. And then based on this principal, we're gonna get the Graph API role. And once that is done, we will create new Azure AD service app role assignment for function manage identity to be able to read and write on applications. So let me copy entire script and let me use the Cloud Shell for simplicity. I'll paste entire script. And as you see, the new role is assigned. Now let's test our rotation. I will go to my Key Vault, go to Secrets, see that our client secret is deployed, the current version, where you have value and tags configured. So to trigger rotation, I can trick it to change the expiration date. So if I change the expiration date within the 30 days of the activation, it will trigger the new 30 days expiry event. So let me do that and set it to January 3rd and save. And what it's gonna do, it's gonna trigger the new expiry event and the rotation. It should not take more than a few minutes to perform rotation. So let's go back to our secrets and wait for that to happen. And now I can also go to the actual app, certificate secrets, client secrets, and let's refresh it. As you can see, new secrets successfully generated in the app. With current setup, rotation will happen every 60 days, with 30 days for clients to refresh their secrets before expiration. Thank you. I hope this helped you with managing AAD app credentials in Azure. Stay safe.